What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. For today's episode, we are actually going to go check out Redcliffe Village. Now, we learned from Alistair last episode that Arl Eamon, the Arl of Redcliffe, actually raised him, so he's going to have a vested interest in going there. We also learned from Liliana that there is a certain flower that reminds her of her mother called Andraste's Grace, so we're going to keep our eye out for that on the road too. Now, we haven't decided yet who we're going to take. Yes. Obviously, Alistair. Obviously the party healer. Now, do we want to take Shale for the first spin, or do we want to double stack the mage? We might actually try Shale. Yeah, let's try. Let's try Shale. I'll take Shale for a spin. Haven't done anything with Shale yet. It's gonna be a long journey. We should probably get jumped. It's going to be interesting having Shale in the party here, because that means technically we have two tanks. And this is an asshole of a fight. One mistake I did just realize that I've made is I didn't set up Shale's tactics at all. Defender sounds good. I guess we're just going to let this do as it pleases. We are going to turn off the taunt though. We don't want him to be interrupting with Alistair's things too much. Behavior, aggressive. Scrapper, I suppose, can stay. It's not like any of this matters. It just does as we tell him. Right. Target prioritization. What do we have? Just random scrubs? No emissary? Interesting. Alright. Win, go ahead and dip out of this combat encounter, please. You don't need to be in there right now. I actually don't like that these archers are up here causing chaos, so I'll still taunt that, and I'm gonna go deal with these archers because they're gonna target Win like crazy. There's actually more enemies up ahead. Okay, change of plan. We'll stay down here and we'll chop this wood first. Fail if you'd be so kind as to taunt this, and Alistair, you're gonna go work on this. Win, sack him. Winter's grasp of the leader. Beautiful. Alistair, knock him on his ass. Wonderful. Okay, the leader's done. I'm gonna let Alistair go ahead and deal with the archers, and I'm gonna dip back here and help Shale out a little. Wonderful. Now it's just these guys. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Shale. I'm gonna watch Shale's back. I do want the XP from these traps. Alistair finally coming to join in the party. He just got a level up actually, which is huge. I'm going to Redcliffe a little more ahead. He just has no chance at this point. I mean, these enemies are screwed. It's over. The golem would have been enough. Have all of us focusing on them. It wasn't so bad. Kind of shows the progression of the Blight that we're now getting ambushed on the road by random warbands.
As you wish. On it.
I'd love to be able to loot this crate. There we go. Small metal round shield. It seems like they ambushed like a caravan. Some of their victims over here. We will gladly take the loot. Plenty of gemstones when we need to level up the dwarves later in the game. I would recommend, at least if you're following along the progression that I've taken, is every time you get a big batch of gemstones like that, just go drop them off at Soldier's Peak in the chest. And then when you finally get the dwarves as a faction, which for us is going to be late game, I like to do Orzammar very last. Then you just take it all back to camp in one chunk and give them like The whole upgrade. I have a hard time remembering which gems exactly you need, so I just tend to save every gem I find.
Let's get started.
Alistair, let's see what you're cooking. So you're currently at 28 strength and 22 dex. Let's go ahead and give you... I'll give you the 1 cunning. I know you need that for your tactics. You don't have a specialization. Let's do strength. Right, now you have bravery, disengage. Bravery would be good for Alistair. You also have shield wall, which is a better version of shield defense. Shield tactics. But do we want bravery or do we want shield wall? Bravery, the warrior's unwavering courage grants bonus to damage, physical resistance, and mental resistance, as well as a bonus to critical chance that increases proportionally to the number of enemies above 2 that the warrior is engaging. So this just makes him better when he's surrounded. And this just gives him a bigger buff to defense. I think we're actually going to go bravery. We'll go bravery for now. We'll get shield defense next time. Or shield wall next time, sorry. Because shield defense is holding up really well for him so far. Defense does take less of a penalty to attack.
I fell.
Are you alright?
For a moment there, I thought I thought it was all over.
You need rest, that's all.
I will explain everything when we are back at camp. Now is not the time.
Yeah, that doesn't seem good, that she's just collapsing like that. Anyways, back onward to Redcliffe. Yeah, it definitely seems like she has some explaining to do. She shouldn't just be collapsing in the middle of combat like that. The famous Redcliffe windmill.
I need to tell you something. I should probably have told you earlier.
What's on your mind?
I told you before how Arl Eamon raised me, right? That my mother was a serving girl at the castle and he took me in. The reason he did that was because, well, because my father was King Marek, which made Kaelin my half-brother, I suppose.
And that's quite the bombshell, and anybody who watched last episode, I made a little joke about who he does resemble. So, you're not just a bastard, but a royal bastard.
Ha! Yes, I guess it does at that. I should use that line more often. I would have told you, but it never really meant anything to me. I was inconvenient, a possible threat to Kaelin's rule, and so they kept me secret. I've never talked about it to anyone. Everyone who knew either resented me for it or they coddled me. Even Duncan kept me out of the fighting because of it.
Right, so that's why he didn't take you on the front lines.
I'm sorry.
Well, rest assured, I'm not going to be treating you any differently. You're still going to be my best friend. Does Loghain know?
Why wouldn't he? He was King Marek's best friend. I don't know if that means anything, though. I certainly never considered the idea that it might ever be important. At any rate, that's it. That's what I had to tell you. I thought you should know about it.
You're the heir to the throne, then?
Let's hope not. I'm the son of a commoner and a Grey Warden to boot. It was made very clear to me early on that there was no room for me raising any rebellions or such nonsense. And that's fine by me. No, if there's an heir to be found, it's Arl Eamon himself. He's not of royal blood, but he is Kaelin's uncle, and more importantly, very popular with the people. Though, if he's really as sick as we've heard... Oh no, I don't want to think about that.
I was about to say Arl Eamon might not be a choice,
So there you
Alistair.
have it. Now can we move on? And I'll just pretend you still think I'm some nobody who was too lucky to die with the rest of the Grey Wardens.
As you command, my prince.
Oh, lovely. I'm going to regret this. Somehow I just know it.
You'll be alright, Alistair. Walk it off. Your Highness. So, Alistair is the official next in line for the Ferelden throne, since Loghain decided to snake out his own nephew and leave Kaelin to die on the battlefield. He put Alistair as the next in line. I failed to mention any of that. Perhaps that's why the real reason why he has the bounty on the Grey Wardens is because he knows Alistair is the heir to the throne and would like no competition for the seat he's currently sitting in. would make sense based on the rest of his actions.
I thought I saw travelers coming down the road, though I scarcely believed it. Have you come to help us?
I'm on important business. I need to see Arl Eamon.
The Arl? Then you don't know. Has nobody out there heard?
What are you talking about? Heard what?
We're under attack. Monsters come out of the castle every night and attack us until dawn. Everyone's been fighting and dying.
Is anyone surprised? Anyone?
We've no army to defend us. No Arl and no king to send us help. So many are dead. And those left are terrified they're next.
Hold on, what is this evil that's attacking you?
I don't rightly know. I'm sorry, nobody does. I should take you to Ban Tegan. He's all that's holding us together. He'll want to see you.
Ban Tegan, Arl Eamon's brother. He's here.
Yes. It's not far, if you'll come with me.
Seems like we should. All the rumors we heard about Redcliffe, none of them said they were under attack. It just said the Arl had fallen sick. I suppose this happened before the knights were shipped off. All the defenses this place had have left to find the ashes of Andraste, trying to cure the Arl. We know Tegan from his savage lines in the Landsmeet.
Thomas, yes? And who are these people with you? They are obviously not simple travelers.
It's a pleasure to meet him.
Good eye.
No, my lord. They just arrived, and I thought you would want to see them.
Don't mind
Well
the
done,
sarcastic
Thomas.
golem, Tegan.
Greetings, friends. My name is Tegan, Ban of Rainersphere, brother to the Arl.
I remember you, Ban Tegan, though the last time we met, I was a lot younger and covered in mud.
Covered in mud? Alistair? It is you, isn't it? You're alive! This is wonderful news.
Still alive, yes. Though not for long if Tainted Logain has anything to say about it.
Indeed. Logain would have us believe all Grey Wardens died along with my nephew, amongst other things.
You don't believe Logain's lies?
What, that he pulled his men in order to save them? That Kaelan risked everything in the name of glory? Hardly. Logain calls the Grey Wardens traitors, murderers of the king. I don't believe it. It is an act of a desperate man. So, you are a Grey Warden as well? Is it possible?
Tegan has his head on
You
straight.
seem very familiar.
I was actually talking to my brother about this, and Logain is supposed to be some big tactical genius, right? He's the reason Marek's rebellion against Olay went so well. Now, tactically, he has no reason to pull his men back from the battle at Ostagar. Absolutely zero. His men could have turned the tide. They had a perfect flanking position. The beacon was lit on time-ish. I'm sure we were a little late, but still. Tactically, none of his actions tactically make sense, which means if it weren't for tactical reasons, then it must have been for other reasons, right? Like, tactically, the rebellion in the circle, back in order to overthrow Irving, that makes no sense tactically. That plunges the circle and all the mages into chaos. That doesn't help you fight the Darkspawn. Putting a bounty on all surviving Wardens and leaving them all to be slaughtered, the only warriors that can end the Blight, doesn't make any sense tactically to defeat the Darkspawn. Losing half your men at Ostagar and the king, further plunging the land into civil unrest, does not make sense tactically to beat the Darkspawn. Poisoning Arl Eamon, making the next biggest threat to the throne go away, does not make sense tactically. What it does make sense to do all these things for is if you just want the throne for yourself. Now, I know Logain has a lot of motivations, and when we do the Return to Ostagar DLC, we'll get into a couple of the other ones, I suppose. But honestly, Logain at this point has just about every honor-shredding title you could be given. He's a kinslayer, he killed his nephew at Ostagar. He's also a kingslayer, because he killed his king at Ostagar. On top of that, he's a usurper and an oathbreaker. Logain has done just about everything to muddy his reputation and his honor that one can possibly do. Poisoning Arls, backing Howe to slaughter all the Kuzlins, the second biggest house in Ferelden, by the way, which also doesn't make sense tactically. It only makes sense for what he wants to do with the land. Get rid of everyone who'll oppose him so he can take the throne. It seems to me that Logain is perhaps a bitter man that wishes he was on the throne after Marek and seized his opportunity to take that at Ostagar. Now, when we get to the Return to Ostagar, as I say, we'll talk a little more about what was going on with Kaelan there, but it just doesn't make much sense to me tactically is all. So I would assume you'd have to go with other motivations. You may have known my father, Tern Kuzland.
Ah, yes, that's it, exactly. A pleasure to meet you indeed, though I wish it were under better circumstances. You're here to see my brother? Unfortunately, that might be a problem. Eamon is gravely ill. No one has heard from the castle in days. No guards patrol the walls, and no one has responded to my shouts. The attack started a few nights ago. Evil things surged from the castle. We drove them back, but many perished during the assault.
What evil things are you talking about?
Some call them the walking dead, decomposing corpses returning to life with a hunger for human flesh. They hit again the next night. Each night they come with greater numbers. With Cailan dead and Loghain starting a war over the throne, no one responds to my urgent calls for help. I have a feeling tonight's assault will be the worst yet. Alistair, I hate to ask, but I desperately need the help of you and your friends.
It isn't just up to me. Though the Grey Wardens don't stand much chance against Loghain without Arl Eamon.
Of course we'll help.
Thank you. Thank you. This means more to me than you can guess. Thomas, please tell Murdock what transpired. Then return to your post.
Yes, my lord.
Loghain is also
Now,
responsible
there's
for this
much to
too.
do before night falls. I put 2 men in charge of the defense outside. Murdock, the village mayor, is outside the chantry. Sir Perth, one of Eamon's knights, is just up the cliff at the windmill, watching the castle. You may discuss with them the preparations for the coming battle.
As Tegan and the Codex said, the land is currently in a civil war because of Loghain's grab for the throne, which makes the entirety of Ferelden unable to really do anything about the Darkspawn progression. The Darkspawn just have free reign up the middle of Ferelden currently, with small pockets of resistance in the villages they're wiping out. I want to discuss the situation with you.
Of course.
You have some of Arl Eamon's knights here.
I have those few who returned from their quest. You know of this, yes?
Their search for the Urn of Sacred Ashes.
Yes, I question Isolde's decision to send so many knights in search of this relic. But I am a practical man, whereas she is a woman of great faith. Sir Perth was one of the knights sent on this quest. Perhaps you should speak to him if you wish to learn more.
We'll definitely do that. Why are you in the chantry with the villagers?
Sir Perth insists. He wants me to be with the villagers, so everyone he needs to protect is in one place. I don't mind, to be honest. The point of all this is to protect the villagers, and I can do that best here. This is the last line of defense, should things go amiss.
He's also, unfortunately, a man of great importance currently, so he can't exactly be on the front lines with his men. If he dies and Arl Eamon remains sick, there is no heir to Redcliffe. It's over. Do you need more men in here with you?
We could bring some men in to stand beside me, but I'd rather keep the monsters away from the villagers if possible.
That seems like a good decision. So what happens after this battle is over?
Hopefully we can find the source and stop it before it causes any more damage. With luck, we'll also find Eamon and be able to help him.
I should get back to work.
Very well. Luck be with you, my friend.
We're not going to ask for some grand reward here. We don't need a promise of gold to take care of this.
Scared, Mother. When are the bad men coming?
Soon, darling. Don't worry. Everything will be all right.
There's women and children in here. We are a warden. It is our job to protect them.
Why can't we go home?
Man, Alistair looks badass right now.
Father is outside defending the village from the bad men. We must stay here and be brave. Can you do that?
I guess so.
Good man. Here we have Jeddah, if you remember that, from the Kakari Wilds. We have a lockbox for her.
You're a Grey Warden, right? Were you in Ostagar? In the Kokari Wilds? My husband and son went there to bring the chant of light to the chastened. But I haven't heard from them since.
They had really unfortunate timing on their little pilgrimage. Are you Jeddah?
I am. You've heard of me?
I have something here from your husband.
Oh? Oh, his lockbox. If you're bringing me this... Oh no, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for bringing this to me. It means a lot to... Maker's blessings upon you.
I'm sorry for your loss. There's gonna be a lot of widows in here.
Good day.
I'm so scared, Father.
I'm too old.
What are we going to
fight.
do?
It's frustrating to stand in here and watch the young take up arms.
Yeah, I bet it is. Somebody called Kaylin here.
Sorry. Am I bothering you? I'll try to be more quiet.
Are you alright? Why are you crying?
Those things dragged my mother away. I don't know what happened to her, but I hear her screaming all the time. Everywhere. And now my brother Bevin, he ran off. I don't know where he is. I'm so scared they got him too.
Why would he run off? Do you know?
He said something about saving Mother. He's just a little boy. He doesn't understand she's gone.
Grief can make us do many things that don't make any sense, I'm afraid.
I hope he didn't try to go to the castle. Oh, that would be awful.
Have you tried looking for your brother?
I went to our house. It's by the square. He wasn't there. I searched the rest of the village too. I called and I called, but he never answered. I wonder if he ran off into the woods. I'm so worried. Without me, he has nobody.
Don't worry. I'll look for him.
You will? Thank you so much. Please find him.
We're going to be exploring this village anyway. We have no reason not to look for the child.
Let us pray.
Not want to shy away from a good cause.
In the Maker's sight. Blessed art thou who seeks.
We'll go ahead and talk to Mother Hannah in a little bit. But right now, let's go check out the situation in the village. There's an attack coming tonight. Try and get a general idea of their state of readiness. There is also a Chanter's board inside Redcliffe, but not until after the fight, so we don't have to worry about that just now. Here's Murdock.
Tell them to maintain watch. I don't want a surprise attack before the sun goes down.
He's the man in charge
So
of
you're
Redcliffe's
the Grey
defense.
Warden, are you? I heard they all died with the king.
You sure you didn't hear that we killed the king?
Could be that I did. We aren't gonna turn aside anyone who wants to help, though. Don't take me for being an ingrate or nothing.
Well, we do want to help however we can. You can trust us.
Name's Murdock, mayor of what's left of the village, providing we aren't all killed and hauled off to the castle tonight.
No, we definitely won't be letting that happen. Have faith, good man. We will defeat this evil together.
I hope you're right. I've been trying to hold us together, but it isn't easy. Anyhow, you're here, and they tell me you're in charge.
Grey Wardens can inspire. There is a very good line from Dragon Age Inquisition that I like, where you ask somebody, what can one warden do? And the response is a slow pause and save the fucking world if pressed. That is a very true statement. How's morale?
Morale's about what you'd expect. These men aren't soldiers. They're villagers defending their homes, and they're frightened. It would help if we had decent equipment. There weren't enough swords in Owen's shop, and the men's armor is nearly falling off. I don't think we're in any shape to fight. We'll do our best, of course, but, well, I have my doubts. I just hope I'm alive tomorrow morning.
What can I do to help?
We need what little armor and weapons we got repaired, and quickly, or half of us will be fighting without either. Owen's the only blacksmith who can do it, but the stubborn fool refuses to even talk. If we're to be ready for tonight, we'll need that crotchety bastard's help.
Why does Owen refuse to talk to you?
His daughter, Valena, is one of the Alessa's maids, so he hasn't heard from her since this whole business started. He demanded we attack the castle, break down the gate, and force our way in. I said it was impossible, but he wouldn't listen. He's locked himself in the smithy now. I can't force him to do repairs. He said he'd rather die first.
Given your current state of your forces, that would be a suicide mission. You made the right call by refusing. Nobody else can do these repairs.
Not by nightfall, and not well enough that I'd be happy to test it in combat. If there were others, don't you think I'd ask them?
Is there anything else you need?
We could use some extra bodies. Having a veteran like Dwyn in the militia would help a lot, but he flat out refuses.
Tell me about Dwyn.
He's a trader, a dwarf, lives near the lake. Locked himself up in his home with some of his workers, he has. Says he doesn't need any of us. We could use somebody with his fighting experience, but he won't come out.
I want to discuss something else.
Shouldn't you be trying to reason with Owen?
I have some questions.
Oh? Ask away.
Why have you been stationed here?
We're the last defenders of them folks in the Chantry. The women, elderly, and the children. They're the ones we need to protect. No matter what happens, we can't let them evil things in there. If they die, the village is done.
Murdock seems like a good man, not a politician at all. He's out here with a bow and arrow fighting for his people. I like to see that. Tell me about what's happened here.
Don't rightly know. We heard the Arl was sick and getting worse, but after a while we heard nothing at all. A few folks went up to the castle to see what was going on. They couldn't get in. Nobody was there, not a soul. And then those horrid creatures attacked the village. They were everywhere. People dying. It was awful. Good thing Bantegan was here.
Indeed. Do you know anything about Arl Eamon's illness?
No. I know the Arlessa sent the knights out for a cure. You can ask Sir Perth about it. He was one of them.
Carry on then.
Right. Let's hope we see morning.
I will do my best to make sure that becomes a reality. Now, here's the blacksmith, eh? Go ahead and do that first, since we're already here. Do want all the XP around the village. I am going to take a big old loop and get what we can. There's also a Blackstone Irregulars, not a deserter, it's one of the ones who took an oath that they would eventually help. He's up there in the village.
Go away. Curse you. Leave me in peace. You've already taken everything out of my stores. There's nothing left.
Is this Owen, the blacksmith? I need to speak with you.
Huh? Who is that? What do you want? I've been through enough.
I'd prefer not to speak through a door. Can I come in?
All right. Let me undo the locks.
Good
All
man.
I ask is that you don't make any trouble.
Definitely not here for that.
Somebody's been drinking.
So I let you in. You wanted to talk. Now we're talking. Mind telling me who you are?
My name is Apparition, a Grey Warden helping Bantegan.
A Grey Warden, is it? It takes all kinds. Anyhow, my name's Owen, though you might already know that. Care to join me as I get besotted? Or is there something in particular you wanted?
Why have you locked yourself in the smithy?
My girl, Velena, is one of the Alessa's maids, and she's trapped up there in the castle, but the mayor won't send anyone for her. She's been my life since my wife passed on 2 years ago. Now she's dead, or soon to be. I don't care what happens to me or the village, or anyone!
So you intend to drink yourself to death?
Why not? It's not like we're going to live past the night anyhow. Or are you going to save us?
I intend to try.
Is that so? Maybe it's the drink talking, but you almost sound like you believe that. It'd do me the world of good to think maybe someone like you could go in and find her. Provided any of us live through the night.
What about the militia? They need your help.
If you look for Velena, I'll reopen the smithy and make some repairs for the militia. I can do that much.
I'll do my best.
Not good enough. Murdock said the same damn thing, and I didn't believe him either. I want a promise. Promise me that you'll look for her. That you'll bring her back to me if you can.
I promise you, I'll find her.
We will do our best. Please believe us, friend.
I'll accept that. It's something to hope for, at least.
Good man.
Right then.
Hope can go a long way.
It seems I have some work to do, relighting the forge, and I suppose I'll have to find some iron. Maybe at the mill. Oh, Murdock just better send his men here as soon as possible if I'm gonna get to all these repairs and get them done by nightfall. If you need anything done, well, just let me know.
I should also probably put down the ale, friend.
Now, so you'll have to excuse me.
I won't be excusing you just yet.
Hey, I see you found my hiding place. I stuck some old equipment in there before Murdock could get his hands on it. I don't think there's anything you'll need in there. but it's hard to say. I was in a bit of a rush when I filled it up.
Couldn't the militia use this?
Not if I'm going to repair the equipment they have. That stuff is old, anyhow. Yeah, let me open it for you. I have the key.
Didn't even need to convince him. Seems like he's all on board helping us with the defense. We have dagger, some armor, nothing too good, but it is money. Know how much of a loot goblin I am.
I must admit, it feels good to be up and doing something finally.
Indeed.
There's no way I'm sobering up before morning, however.
It serves nobody for you to sit here and drink yourself stupid. Nice to see you have some purpose.
I've you to thank for that, stranger. Just do what you've promised, and it will have been worthwhile.
Let's talk business.
Right. I haven't got much, obviously, but I'll do whatever I can for you.
Alright, let's see what he has for sale. Nothing else, we're gonna sell his own goods back to him. Wouldn't happen to, have any healing potions or injury kits, would you? Perhaps a backpack? You have nothing that we're really interested in. Alright, well, we have plenty of inventory slots at least, so we don't have to worry about that. And that is the blacksmith on board. Now we gotta search the village for Dwyn. We gotta hit up the bar. And I do want to find Caitlin's little brother, who is somewhere in the village. A lot of things we could actually do here. We're gonna be taking a big old loop around Redcliffe. Very quirky place. They have giant fishes carved into the studs of their buildings.
Right.
There's also, I'm not sure if they had spawned yet, it might be only after the fire, but there's also a Mages Collective here too. I believe that's after though. Lots of loose crates and death roots and elf roots hanging around. Now this is Lake Callan, huh? This is the same lake the Mage Tower is attached to. Not sure if you can see it from here, it doesn't look like you can. We also have to hit up a storeroom because there is some oil in one of them. That's going to be good for the defense. They're being besieged by undead, and if we know one thing undead despise, it's fire. General store. I believe this is where the oil is located.
This should be easy enough.
There is lamp oil in these barrels. Indeed it is. That'll be useful in a conversation later. We do not have the skill for this chest either. This game is torturing me with the loot that I'm not allowed to get. Head back outside. Dwyn's house is right there. Before we do that, there's a home here, and this is Caitlin's home, so let's see if Bevin is in here. Hello? Is someone in there?
Go away. This isn't your home.
Young man, come out this instant.
Yes, ma'am.
Stern as a school teacher.
Alright, I came out. You won't hurt me. Will you?
Of course not.
I'll go back to the Chantry if you really want.
First, tell me what you were doing in there.
I can't tell you. It's a secret.
Are you sure? Maybe I could help you.
You could. Alright, I guess. Father said I could have his sword when I grew up. It was Grandfather's. And Grandfather was a great dragon slayer. I thought, if I was brave like Grandfather, I could use his sword and kill the bad people who took Mother.
You don't think you're a bit young to fight? Actually, where is this sword now?
In the chest. In Mother's room. Father gave me a key, but I'm not supposed to give it to anyone.
Brave lad, a little lacking in the intelligence department, but I could use that sword to help the village.
I guess you're right. I should help defend the village, shouldn't I? Father would have if he were here. Oh, alright. Here's the key. I hope you use it to kill a lot of those bad people. I should go back to the Chantry. Good luck.
Indeed you should, your sister's worried sick. We are going to do something for that family. We're not going to take this magnificent blade for free. Do what we can to help that family out. The Legend of Calenhad, Chapter 1.
On it. As you wish.
The Green Blade. Very cool. More codex. Cautionary tale for the adventurous. And the kid should have read that. Right, that takes care of the brother. Now we'll swing on round to Dwyn's home. See what he's doing locked up in his little house like that. Hello? Okay, then I suppose we'll have to break in. You successfully picked the lock.
Wonderful. Intruders. I hope you have a good reason for breaking and entering into my home.
I apologize. I don't mean any harm.
Apology accepted. The name's Dwyn. Pleased to meet you. Now get out.
Murdock says he needs you for the militia.
So what? You recruiting for him? I'll tell you what I told Murdock. I'm not risking my neck for this town.
Your chances are better out there than in here.
Thanks. But I'll take my chances in here. Everyone else can run around in the open waiting to die.
Can't I change your mind?
Maybe. Let's hear what you've got.
I'll put in a good word for you with Bantegan or the Arl.
You might just be able to pull that off. Fine. I'll throw in with the militia. For now. You better be out there too when the sun goes down. I'm not fighting for a lost cause, you hear me?
Of course. See, I will go gladly. I don't need political favors to fight for these people. Big tough dwarf with his mercenary men hiding in here. Right, that takes care of Dwyn. I'll probably split Redcliffe into two sections. I'll get the defense ready this episode, explore all the township, and then next episode we'll take care of the actual fight in itself.
Lost a large number of comrades in the battle with the Darkspawn.
Me? I guess I did, yes. I didn't know all of them that well. Mostly just Duncan.
I'm unfamiliar with this name.
It's...
Right.
It's not important. You don't need to know who...
It's important to you, Alistair.
I cannot remember if I ever had anyone important to me. All I remember is being given orders.
Do you think the tower is ever going to get back to what it was when...
Stop fidgeting.
That's unfortunate. Both those voice lines got cut off. I was very interested in what he would have had to say, actually. The bar is up here. You have a couple things to grab along the way. You also need to find this Sir Perth. The only knights, well, official knights, that are in this village, so they certainly need the help. He's gonna ask us for his own little favor from the priestess.
On it.
40 XP. Pretty lucrative XP-wise, looting all these chests, even if there's nothing of merit inside. One of the things I like playing the rogue by yourself is you don't constantly have to party toggle to open the things you find. Pretty good quality of life. Anything around this outcropping? No, there's not. This is also very dangerous. There's kids in the village. Have them playing up here. Now let's check out the tavern. Every time I hit that silent black screen that it keeps giving us, I get worried it crashed. Talk to Bella first.
Another doomed soul come to drown their sorrows here, I see. If you came here for a drink, you'd have to talk to Lloyd. He's got a vice grip on the spigots. I'm just here to keep the boys from mutiny.
What do you know about that elf in the corner?
Not much. He's very quiet. Says his name's Berwick and he's here to meet his brother, but I think he's lying. He's a bit creepy.
So how's business been?
What business? Without the castle soldiers, the only customers we have are local. And they're all in the militia with no money to spend. The few with any money are here, but it's not enough to justify working. Lloyd's a greasy pig. And if I didn't need this job so badly,
You don't care for Lloyd, I take it?
He gropes me and pays me next to nothing. But I suppose it could be worse. Not like I've got many options.
I could talk to Lloyd about this.
No, that'll just make things worse. And that's very sweet, but I'll be fine.
A pretty girl like you should be able to do better.
Oh, You think I'm pretty, do you?
Pretty enough that I'd help you leave if you wanted to.
You mean after the fighting's over? I'd really like that. What would I have to do in return?
How about not end up at another tavern?
Well, I can't promise that, but thank you. I don't really know what to say.
Shouldn't you be at the Chantry?
Later on, yes. Lloyd will lock himself in the cellar, and I'll go to the Chantry. Are you fighting tonight?
Yes, I am.
That's good to hear. I didn't know that.
I should go.
Keep safe.
Let's talk to some of the militiamen.
I can't believe Lloyd won't even give us some free ale. A time like this, and all he thinks about is turning a profit.
Did you expect any different? That bastard's always been cheaper than an Antivan whore.
Here we are defending the village, and he don't even have the decency to help us out.
Cheaper than an Antivan whore. Maybe he should help defend the village instead.
Ha! I've seen Lloyd handle a sword. He should stick to something he knows about, like keeping me nice and drunk for the fight.
Lloyd is charging us for coin we don't even got anymore. Nobody's working right now. We're all just trying to survive.
Ah, what difference does it make? He won't care.
We'll see what we can do about Lloyd on multiple offenses here. Alright, Lloyd.
Hello there, friend. Can't say we've ever met before. Stranger to the village, I take it. Haven't had many travelers lately. All this nonsense is bad for business. Bet you regret coming, yes?
You might not consider me a friend by the time we're done talking, but first things first.
Got some supplies too, in case you're interested. With the store closed down, it doesn't hurt to pick up some of the slack, eh?
A grubby little man like this should at least fight. We have all these people in this village. They're all willing to defend it with their lives. He's sitting here profiteering. Least he could do is go outside and take a couple swings at some monsters. Alright, now that we bought you up, let's handle your transgressions.
What can Lloyd get you?
I heard you're charging the militia for ale.
Why shouldn't I? They may not have much coin, but I'm not giving it away for free.
Think of the goodwill you'll earn.
I never thought of that. Maybe I could try it for a bit. Right then, you men over there. Drinks are on the house. All militia drink for free.
Oh, you're a saint, Lloyd. Ha ha!
If them creatures don't kill me, I swear they'll bleed me dry. Something else I can get for you?
Who are you anyway?
Name's Lloyd. So, why'd you come to the village now? The roads can't be all that safe, not with a war brewing.
I'm a Grey Warden.
Well, that explains it. Except for the lack of Darkspawn around here. But never mind me. Something else I can get for you?
Answer a few questions.
Fine. Make them quick.
Shouldn't you be helping defend the village?
Why? When them creatures attack, I lock myself in the cellar. Just batten the hatches and wait it out. What's the point in getting myself killed with all the rest of them? If that makes me a coward, then I'm a coward.
Not while I'm here. Either die fine in the militia, or die now. Your choice.
But Van Tegan said we didn't have to. He said... Fine, I'll go. But all of this better be here when I get back. I don't want the place drunk out from under me. Blasted bloody...
Instead of sitting here profiteering from the village, why don't you go help it survive instead? Then you can make more money in the future.
I see you got that bastard Lloyd to join the militia.
And give drinks for free.
To help out. I guess this puts me in charge. Poor Lloyd will have an apoplexy just thinking about it, eh?
Enjoy the promotion. I should go.
Keep safe and come back anytime. I won't lock up until near sundown.
Right, so... we did everything in here, I believe. Now let's talk to Berwick.
Not looking for company.
I hear you're Berwick.
What? How did you know that? Well, that's my name. Why?
Little skittish, isn't he? You seem awfully nervous. Why is that?
No reason. I just didn't know how you knew my name. That's all.
You said you were waiting for your brother.
My what? Oh, yes. He was supposed to meet me here. And then I got stuck here when monsters from the castle attacked.
Okay, let's cut the shit. You didn't try to leave?
No. Those who tried are dead. And, I, have to wait for my brother.
And you're, struggling with your story right now?
I'm not... I mean, I was just told to... I mean, just leave me alone.
You were told to do something interesting. What do you mean? What were you told to do?
Nothing. Nobody told me to do anything. Just because you're a Grey Warden doesn't mean you can go around threatening people.
And there it is. This will be easier if you just tell me what you're hiding.
But I never... Oh, all right, I'll tell you. Just don't hurt me.
And he folds like a cheap suit.
I bargained for. Look, they just paid me to watch the castle and send word if anything should change. But they never said anything about monsters. I haven't even been able to report anything since this started. I'm stuck, same as you, I swear.
Who are they? Who hired you to do this?
A tall fellow. I forget his name. He, said he was working for Howe. Arl Rendon Howe. He's an important man, Terran Logain's right hand. So I didn't do anything wrong.
What are you supposed to watch the castle for?
Just to report any changes, honest. All I could send word about was the Arl getting sick. After that, monsters started coming from the castle.
So he had been positioned here before Arl Eamon got sick, which very highly implicates Logain and Howe and the poisoning of him, since they sent him here to watch for changes before he even fell ill. How do I know you're telling the truth?
Here, this is a letter from them. It has instructions and everything. Keep it, do whatever you want with it. I just thought I was serving the king and making a bit of coin on the side. You have to believe me.
Right. I think you should help defend Redcliffe tonight.
Oh, all right. I'll do it. Thank you for your mercy. I won't forget it.
Good man. But he wouldn't know much about anything that went down here, since he's just been posted up in the tavern since before the Arl even fell ill. We already know that monsters just kind of started pouring out of the place. And surprise, surprise, more evidence that Howe and Logain are involved in all the nastiness going on currently in Ferelden. I wonder why they would send someone to investigate Redcliffe before he miraculously fell ill. Couldn't be that they had a hand in that, could it? Here's the Blackstone Irregular. This is Dernal Garrison.
Yes? What can I do for you?
I have a letter for you from the Blackstone Irregulars.
I knew this time would come. I should have listened to my wife. Don't sign that paper, she said. They might pay you a few sovereigns now, but they'll be back. Blast. I'll see you on the front lines, I suppose.
Good man. Didn't have to twist his arm much.
Let's get started.
Got the Lesser Ice Salve and a Codex back here, all sneaky-like. Ballad of Aisley. Dive into those in the episode after this. We did skip the Codex from the last camp episode. We didn't really have enough to justify it, so I figured instead of like a 4-minute episode, I'd jump into this and then do a good old reading episode after. And if you remember Liliana referring to Andraste's grace in the camp conversation, there's one right here. It's the reason why I wanted to get some information from her before we came. There's a landmark tree there for Duke too. Since I see the landmark tree, we are going to actually take Shale out. Pull Duke out, and Duke, go pee on the tree by the pretty knights.
The Arl lives, and I will not listen to your
Barbari dominance. Got a handful of knights up here. So Perth likely has some information for us about the Arl's sickness since he was in the castle. He's been here since it all started. He should have a hands-on kind of thing for us.
Greetings, Grey Warden. I am as relieved as Bantegan is to see you here. I must admit that I do not quite know how to address you. Is my lord sufficient?
Call me Grey Warden, for that's what I am.
Grey Warden it is then, and thank you kindly. I am Sir Perth, until recently in direct service of Arl Eamon of Redcliffe. For now my charge is defending the village from these evil assaults. Would that I had chosen not to seek out the urn of sacred ashes. Perhaps I would have fended off whatever evil befell the castle, or perhaps I would be dead. Ah well, with the Grey Warden aiding our defense, perhaps all is not lost.
All is assuredly not lost. Have you considered using the oil in the village store?
No one told me of this. Oil, you say? How much exactly?
Enough to set many monsters aflame.
Assuming that would hurt them. Yes, I see what you have in mind. That might be effective, if used carefully. Yes, excellent idea. I'll send some men to collect the oil. We'll use it to slow these creatures down. Have you anything else to ask me in the meantime?
I have some questions for you.
Ask me whatever you wish.
Tell me about what's happened here.
You know about as much as I do. I returned a day before the attacks began, having heard strange rumors about the abandoned castle. I was the only knight to survive the first attack. Since then, I found others returning from the Arlessa's quest. Until we get to the source of this evil, though, I do not think it will stop, and I don't believe we will be enough.
You mentioned something about an urn.
When the Isle fell sick, we were at a loss. Nothing worked to cure him, and he just kept getting worse. Finally, Arlessa Isolde came up with a plan. The Urn of Sacred Ashes is a legendary artifact said to hold great healing powers. If found, it might save him.
They say the followers of Andraste smuggled her ashes out of Tevinter and hid them in Ferelden. The urn's never been heard of since.
We knights volunteered to seek it out. Few of us have returned. Many are still out there, unaware of what is happening here.
This knight has a wicked-looking armor. He certainly looks the part. Why did the Arlessa believe anyone could find the urn?
The Jarl once employed a scholar, Brother Genetivi. He had proof the urn was in Ferelden, or so I was told.
Can no one find the other knights and bring them back?
Eventually, perhaps. The ones I have here were those near enough to recall within the last few days. I only returned myself because I was passing by Redcliffe and heard the news of strange attacks.
So the knights left the castle defenseless?
Not at all. A great number of soldiers remained in Castle Redcliffe. I wonder if they perished there and were transformed into these things. The thought chills my blood.
The monsters must be coming from somewhere. Just what was the Jarl sick with?
We were never certain. He thirsted for water and then grew weaker and weaker. We brought in a mage, but even that did nothing. The Arlessa believed he was cursed and that we needed the power of Andraste herself, or he would surely perish.
I want to discuss something else.
As you wish.
You see, he brought in a mage there, and given what we know about Uldred's deal with Loghain, it doesn't bode well that a mage from the Circle came here. The 50-50, I suppose, whether that was one of Irving's mages or one of Uldred's. Is there anything I can do to help?
We have sufficient armor and weapons, but my knights are too few to stand against the monsters without assistance. Perhaps you could approach Mother Hannah in the Chantry for some holy protection against these evil creatures. Otherwise, I do not know what else you could provide beyond your own talents. We're as prepared for the onslaught as we could possibly be, all things considered.
I'll see what I can do.
That gladdens my heart to hear it.
Is there anything else you need?
No, nothing comes to mind. If you have not spoken to the mayor, Murdock, you should. His militia is far more in need of aid than we are.
Carry on.
As you wish, Grey Warden. Make a watch over you.
Absolutely. Now we're going to drop a quick save. Get nervous with all those blacked out loading screens. And dip into the windmill for a second. Any goodies in here? Got a crate. With an eye salve and a love letter. Those love letters are important for a quest once we get to Denerim. I'm going to need a whole bunch of those. There's a merchant in there that gives off little side quests. Believe it's for the tavern owner in Denerim. We'll get to that. Now we gotta swing back down to the Chantry. See if we can get Sir Perth some holy protection, and we'll be about done with prepping Redcliffe to fight off these monsters. So the Circle and Loghain and Arl Howe are all tied up in whatever's going on here in Redcliffe. The mage from the Circle came before Arl Eamon fell sick. And of course, Berwick was sent here before he fell sick too, and that's from Howe. Like I said before, tactically none of this makes sense from Loghain's perspective. He has no reason to be doing any of this aside from securing his own power on the throne.
You are a stranger amongst us, yet you still agree to defend our village in its darkest hour. We are most grateful to you.
Be grateful when we win the battle.
I will be grateful of your attempt, even if it fails. We can ask no more. Allow me to introduce myself. I am revered Mother Hannah, head of this chantry, which for the moment is a place of refuge for these poor villagers.
Surely this cannot be the entire village. These few are all who are left?
All those who cannot defend themselves, yes. They are terrified of tonight's attack, and I fear these walls will not keep them safe. What can I do to help with your task?
Sir Perth needs holy protection for the knights.
I have done all I can for them. I pray for them each night and seek the Maker's forgiveness for their sins before they face their deaths. What Sir Perth seeks is something that is not in my power to give.
What do you mean?
Sir Perth believes that I can protect them against these creatures, a shield only the Maker can provide, and that I withhold this power.
Well, can't you just tell him the Maker will watch over him? Morale is a powerful thing, you know.
You mean you want me to let them think the Maker protects them in a real sense? I will not lie to them like that.
You are a servant of the Maker, shouldn't you believe that he does protect them in a real sense? Not only that, but you give your blessing all the time. I could have asked for it when I walked in. Surely you can make an exception here. If they think that it helps them.
I suppose their belief in the Maker's power could inspire them, but it just seems like trickery. Very well. If it keeps them alive, I will do what I must. I have a number of silver-cast holy symbols. Tell Sir Perth that he can have them, and that wearing them will confer the Maker's protection. Now please, let me tell you.
That seems like a perfect compromise.
I must do what I can, and I suggest you do the same.
They get some holy symbols, they'll likely fight with a little more fervor, knowing that the Maker is on their side, and that'll aid in the defense of all these children in the chantry. Not sure why she was, so hesitant to do that. She should know as a servant of the Maker that can help out greatly.
Bevin said you were the one who found him. I can't possibly repay you.
About the sword I found in your home.
Bevin told me about Grandfather's sword. So you have it then? I suppose it won't go to waste, at least.
It won't. Perhaps I could pay you something for it.
I have no idea what it's worth, to be honest. And you found Bevin. I couldn't ask you for money.
Now, I don't think these two have much of a use for a sword, but they do have a big use for money. We are gonna vastly overpay for this blade, however, but it's for a good cause. It's a very valuable sword. Here, 500 silver. Take it.
That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. How can I ever repay you?
Just stay safe, both of you.
The Maker sent you. I just know it. Thank you again.
500 silver is 5 sovereigns, which is vastly overpriced, but they'll stay safe and maybe they can get out of the village, get a better life. Again, wardens can inspire. They'll take that story of Grey Warden generosity everywhere they go and tell all the travelers about it. Everyone they meet will hear about the generous Grey Warden. Might inspire a couple people to join. Hell, when that kid grows up, maybe he'll sign up. And Grey Wardens are a symbol after all. They're not just a sword. I like to believe that kindness like that is carried forward. We do something for them, it opens their heart, they do something for somebody else down the road. A lot of those things can be paid forward. So Perth, good news.
The Knights of Redcliffe are ready to fight at your disposal.
You said you wanted holy protection.
Have you spoken to the revered mother? Has she offered anything?
Mother Hannah had some holy amulets. Would those do?
If they are the same as the symbols worn by their priests, well, that would more than suffice.
I'm glad I could help.
I will send some men to collect the amulets. Please give my regards to Mother Hannah for seeing some sense at last.
We're not going to try and mess with his faith at all. He's very motivated now. That's a good thing. Is there anything else you need?
No, nothing comes to mind. If you have not spoken to the mayor, Murdock, you should. His militia is far more in need of aid than we are.
Alright, carry on.
As you wish, Grey Warden. Make a watch over you.
Alrighty, and now I believe... Let's see. So we have Sir Perth and his knights are ready to defend Redcliffe. You managed to convince Dwyn to come out of his locked house to help the militia in their fight. Perth agrees that setting undead on fire is a good thing. He's going to use the oil. Thanks to you, the militia can now drink as much as they want, as often as they want. This is a good thing, right? Perth is happy about the holy amulets and believes they are blessed by the Maker and that they will protect the knights. And not only that, we got Berwick to fight. We got the grubby little barkeeper to fight, so he's going to be doing much less groping, at least for tonight. And his keep here in the village. If he manages to survive, he can go back to the bar. If not, it'll have an improvement in ownership. Regardless, every man capable of defending his home should. I truly believe that. What else did we get? I think that's about everything. Everybody's practicing. He is Lloyd out here. He is doing his thugs. I believe Berwick should be out here too. Yep, there's Berwick. Seems like everybody actually showed up. They kept their words. I will dip in real quick and talk to Tegan. Not sure if he'll have anything to say, but at least check before we go ahead and wrap the episode.
What do you need? There is not much daylight left.
Tell me more about yourself.
This is hardly the time to be discussing personal details, don't you think?
There might
We'll
not be
have to
any
fight
time
for our
later.
lives very shortly.
And thus I'd like to know something about you.
I suppose that's not too much to ask. I did not mean to be brusque.
What will you do if Arl Eamon is dead?
I don't know. If Connor lives, he'll be the Arl and I'll need to help him with it. If he's... well, I don't want to think about that.
Why have you stayed? Why didn't you just leave?
After the first attack, I wanted to go for help, but I couldn't just leave these people. The Bannon gear up to battle Loghain, while Darkspawn loom to the south. Loghain won't send anyone, so Redcliffe is on its own.
Tegan's a good man. Are you a skilled warrior? He's certainly a skilled speaker. We saw that at the Landsmeet.
Skilled enough to know there are many far better than myself.
Perhaps we should get back to the matter at hand.
Good, then my secrets are still safe. I was worried for a moment there.
I'll see what I can do.
Very well. Luck be with you, my friend.
Alright, and that is going to be a wrap for this episode, guys. I'm going to go ahead and head back to Murdock and wrap up. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, there is a tip link in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you guys soon with more Dragon Age Origins. Have a good day, guys. Take care.